look, let's start with monogamy, right? Monogamy. Yo, people don't have the right idea about monogamy. That's where it fucks up. With monogamy, you asking this person to only turn to you, right? To only turn to you. That means, me personally, I'm willing to accept any role that I need to fulfill for the woman I date, because I truly believe in monogamy. Some days I need to be her boyfriend, I need to be her husband, I need to be her side piece, I need to be her whore, her hoe, her mother, her father, her brother, her sister, her homegirl, her homeboy. I need to be that random dude that slides in her inbox. I need to be able to fill all of those positions for her if I want her to only turn to me. She needs to be able to turn to me mentally, emotionally, financially, sexually. Did I say emotionally? Basically all those things. Physically, whatever the case may be, I need to be able to fill all of those avenues for her if I want her to be truly monogamous to me. Sometimes people ask for that and they're not really ready for it. It's very few people who's ready to be that person. You know what I'm saying? So if you're dating somebody and you want them to be like you can't go to no other woman. That means when he or she is not in the mood for casual sex or romantic sex, and this person just want to say, yo, shut up and eat my or eat my ass. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that mood comes about where you don't want to have sex. You just want your hair pulled. You want to be probably slapped in your face. Who knows what kind of wild shit that people be on. You know what I'm saying? But that person needs to be able to deliver. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when people start venturing out and looking for other things. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird that you asking this one person to be your everything. Like whether I'm emotionally distressed or whether I need help financially, like you need to turn to that person that you want to be monogamous, to turn to you for everything and be able to do it. But then you have people that's like, oh, I'm not his mother. I'm not cleaning up after him. I'm not cooking his meals every day. I'm not going to be there every night when you need me emotionally, or I'm not going to give you money financially. Where's your own money? But sometimes, hey, listen, people need that help. You know what I'm saying? And that's where people get the wrong idea of like monogamy, not realizing that, hey, you're asking this person to only turn to you. And with that, man, you need to be ready to be that person's everything. Anything that person could ask for, you need to be ready to deliver. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not ready to deliver, then you can't ask this person to only be with me. Like it's unfair and it's selfish. Yo, hold on. Shout out to, me personally, I'm 35 years old. And prior to 2011, when my daughter was born, I was the complete 180 of who I am now. Pre-2011, I was everything opposite of who I am and what I believed in. I was selfish, I was stubborn, I didn't care about anybody's emotions, didn't care about nobody's feelings, no care about nobody, if they come and go, whatever. Because I was all about me and what I wanted. I used women for what I wanted them for, used them for sex, used them for money, used them for this. Until, I had a little girl and I realized, and it hit me like, yo, she's real. You know what I'm saying? And then I started realizing, like, and mind you, I'm a daddy's boy. I was raised from my dad from day one. So, and I'm very family oriented. Me and my dad is like the center of our family. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm thinking like, okay, cool. When she grows, I need to be that same kind of person or whatever. So now I started realizing like she needs a mother. She needs a mother figure. I need to provide stability and all the stuff that I never thought about in my single years until real life happens. So for a lot of people, they probably live at home with their parents. Maybe they got their single apartment or whatever, their little bachelor pad or whatever, but real life didn't hit them. You know what I'm saying? Where they got to start thinking about retirement plans and 401ks and and family and living alone, and when you get older, your friends, your boys can't be there all day long. You know what I'm saying? That part of life probably didn't hit them yet. For me, it hit me. And then I started realizing, like, all right, cool. I need to start getting things in play for her. And then that's what where it kind of comes down to. And it drastically changed my life for the better. I started looking at women differently, started looking at relationships differently, even though I feel like I'm cursed by the universe for all the that I've done to people before Gianna was born is now coming back to me like, oh yeah, we didn't forget. We didn't forget you. So now that I'm actually ready for it, it's like, nah, you gotta deal with what you did to that girl. All she wanted was to give you this. You didn't want it. And now you dealing with a person and you want that and she ain't giving it to you. Now you got to deal with it, boy, because you made your decisions. Yeah, we were talking about that, like marriage that doesn't favor the guy, because once divorce happens or with children is involved, you go, like a man goes into court, and even with like child custody or child support and stuff like that, he's already on the losing end the minute he steps in court. That's what I personally feel. Maybe it's not the truth, but I feel it. Family court, yep. And family court, he already walks in the court on the losing end. Like, how you walk into a 50-50 situation already losing? Like, the game just started. Like, kickoff just started. And you already got 14 points on the board? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, what the f? I thought we was equals. You know what I'm saying? But not so much. So with that, like, it doesn't really favor the guy. You know what I'm saying? In that aspect. So that could probably be another reason why some dudes don't really believe in marriage or don't want the whole, shebang. But you know what, Amber? I've never met a dude who won that battle. Not a single soul that I know individually who won custody battle over the woman. Not a single one. Whether he was a good guy or a bad guy. Not one, hey, I'm going to get alimony. You making more money than I do. You going to pay me. No, not.
Well, because ideally the woman, she carried the child. I mean, in all fairness, it could really be a situation where the father is really being a father, and the parents just decided to split up, and now they're in divorce court or family court or whatever. But I think the way that it's looked at is more like the mother, she bared the child, she went through that, and Usually the mother is more responsible when it comes down to taking care of the child. As far as making sure, say the kid's hair is done, or they're making appointments, doctor's appointments, dentist appointments. They're taking their vitamins. They're making sure they brush their teeth. The mother's usually more on point with that. Financially, it could be that the father is providing, yes. But I think they look at it more from a nurturing standpoint. There's a type of love that you get from a mom that you don't really get from a father.
I can see that. Is that still people looking at just 50% of the picture and not the other 50%? Because I feel like a child needs the mother as much as they need the father. Equally. Because you get a different dosage from the mother. You may get the nurturing standpoint and stuff like that, yeah, or whatever, but what about the other 50%? So people probably see it as a 70-30 kind of percent. So that would turn into a whole different argument that women are not equal to men and men are not equal to women, if that's the case.
I think they're both as equal, but because, okay, you have a scenario where you have a child who is motherless, but they have a father who's providing, they grow up with a father.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that child doesn't grow to become a good person, a well thought out person, a responsible person. And then you take a child who was born fatherless. I think that the child that was born fatherless is still a little bit more okay in life versus the child without the mother. That's the way I weigh it. So it's not that one is less important than the other, just all facts. You have, and maybe it could just be that there are more instances where there are more children who are fatherless. Mm-hmm. But going back to my point, ideally they look more towards the nurturing standpoint. A child, I don't know if there's any science behind it, but a child is well off without a father versus a child well off without a mother.
I'm going to disagree, because they may seem like they are well off without the father, but clearly that has a huge impact, because the world we live in today, most of the, well, not most, a lot, well, probably even most, even if the father was present in the household, just because he's physically there don't mean he's there. You know what I'm saying? And so they still grow up fatherless. But then you look at the world we live in today and look at how people value things, and like, I don't see how people could not connect that to not having a father figure at home. You know what I'm saying? Because whether it's women, whether it's men who's growing up fatherless, like, the world is tilted on its ass right now. Like, the humanity is not in a good state. You know what I'm saying? And we can't look at that and say, oh, well, it's not like humanity is in a great state where all these people grew up fatherless and the world is in a beautiful place. No, the world is in a real place, like a real place. But a lot of these people grew up fatherless, even if their fathers was in the home. You know what I'm saying? And I can't really 1,000% get jiggy with that, because I was raised by my dad. Like, I was one of the rare few who was motherless. You know what I'm saying?
That's super rare.
Yeah, exactly. So I know it could definitely be done now. Of course, he wasn't the best emotionally. Now, if you grew up motherless, you probably got all the emotions and you know, probably lacked the other things or whatever. But you know,
I think they're both just as important.
Yes.
I think they're both just as important, but I wasn't saying that guys. I mean, I wasn't saying that children could do without a father, because for me, my instance was very similar. When I was growing up, I had a father in the house that wasn't present. So yeah, you know, the whole, being the father, providing financially, that was there, but the nurturing emotional side, that came from my mom. And years later, I agree that even the state that this country is in, this world is in, that there are people that are very similar to me who didn't have that connection with a father, that would have maybe left some experiences not being had. Like, maybe had I had a father figure, in certain areas, maybe certain decisions wouldn't have been made. And I don't just mean dealing with guys, I just mean like life lessons. And I feel like it's similar to a lot of young men. It's a lot of young men these days who clearly don't have the foundation of a father. They don't have a father in their life. A lot of men are being raised by women with no male structure. So to that point, I definitely agree that having a male is, like, having the father is just as important as having the mother. But then it kind of ties down to which gender we're talking about, I feel like, but actually no, because I feel like a male needs his mother just as much as a woman would need her mother. Because I feel like a male having a mother, that's pretty much where he learns, I'm going to say his soft spot, that's where he gets his soft spot from. His mother is pretty much usually his first love. She's teaching you how to be open to that soft side of you, that emotional side of you, telling you it's okay to cry sometimes, telling you it's okay to express what you're feeling, versus having that father who may say, you got to toughen up right now. You can't, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing all the time, but I think, having that balance to know, okay, this is good for this is not good for that. So I would say that it's equally important.
I agree. I strongly believe in the balance of the universe, where it's yin and yang, man and woman, kind of balancing out the children. I believe every household, and it's weird because I feel like women with children, like single parents should be dating with a purpose, and that purpose is to finding somebody to balance out their children. You know what I'm saying? And I get that some people don't think that way or don't see relationships that way because they're so like just into themselves where they just like, hey, this is what I want, not realizing, hey, this is what my child needs. You know what I'm saying? So you got the parent who's worried about what they want versus what their child needs, and their child may need that balance, but they're not dating in that kind of aspect.
But it could also be, and this is just a thought, I wouldn't know because I don't have kids, but it could also be that maybe depending on the situation between her and that child's father, she had already made up in her mind, like, I'm going to be that strong person for my child. I'm going to be the provider for my child. If I date, that's for my own fulfillment. If they're able to accept my child, well, they're going to accept my child, first of all. But the fact that they're accepting my child, great. But as far as me expecting for him to like completely fill those shoes of being my child's stepfather or that leader in his life, I don't really need anybody touching that area.
That's ties into what we were talking about earlier, not being able to project yourself in the future. Now, if you really projecting yourself like, okay, 10 years from now, I'm dating this guy. Like I just started talking to him maybe a week in, 2 weeks in, a month in, 2 months in, 3 months in, whatever the case may be. If you project yourself into 5 years, 10 years from now, we're married, we're buying a house, we're moving in together, whatever the case may be, because really and truly, you can't be in two separate homes forever, you know what I'm saying, and expect that to last 10 years because it ain't going to work. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's a year in, people got their own time periods. The time is just a man-made concept or whatever. So whether, their progress works in 6 months, whether their progress works in a year, whether it takes 2 years to get married and have more children and move in together or do whatever it is they need to do, whatever that case may be, whether it's 5 years, 7 years, 10 years or whatever, you need to be able to project yourself to that time. And if you don't see this person, you can't have that mindset like this person don't need to accept my kids, because they're going to need to, because you're going to be underneath the same roof someday. Now, if you don't see yourself in that situation with this person that you're dating, then it's kind of like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? And if you only see yourself in the short term with this person, then why ask for all of this stuff from him or from her? You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't care what she doing on the gram or who she talking to in her DMs, because you don't care. You only care about what's going to happen in the next 3 months. So what are you? What are you for?
But what if it's just like they're feeling it? That's kind of going back to the question that I was asking you about a person who's more in living for today and not worrying about tomorrow. What if they're more like, well, I don't really know if this going on for months throughout the year, I'm just filling it out to see if maybe my thoughts would change. Do you think that's even possible for you to in the beginning not see your future with that person and then over time it developing?
I think that stuff could develop, and I think it would develop. And no matter how much somebody try to run from those emotions, like I said before, like, we are human beings. And like my perspective on, like, adults doing the monkey dance or whatever, some people may not realize that, when you do that act, it's bigger than just pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take a piece of that person with you. You take a piece of their vibe, their aura, their energy with you. You take their good, their bads with you, and vice versa. So sooner or later, and scientifically speaking, I don't know how true this is because I'm not a scientist or whatever, but they say that after sex, the man grow more detached while the woman grow more attached.
How?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but that's based off what I've sort of studied or what I've read, scientifically speaking, as far as like chemicals and hormones and all this that other people possess or whatever. And then I look at it like the track record, I kind of see how it could be true based off of my personal experiences, based off of other people's experiences, and based off what I've read. Because of what I've read, then I take it with a grain of salt. It's just like horoscopes. You know what I'm saying? I would read a horoscope of what they say about like Leos or Aries, and then I have to actually like do the test, the test myself. If they say, "Oh, Leos is this way," okay, cool. Well, you know what? My stepmother's a Leo. My ex-girlfriend is a Leo. My other ex is a Leo. Then what? You know what? All of them was the same. All of them was the same. So I got to be like, yo, you know what? For me, it's right. I'm not saying it's right, but for me, it's right because of my personal experience. But not in all situations. Some dudes grow more attached. Like, oh, that was good. I want it more. I want it all for myself. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, if we're talking about it on a sexual standpoint, I feel like everybody after, you know, that release, everybody's kind of like, all right, let's relax now, or let me just roll over. Kind of like that.
Nah.
I think so.
Nah, no.
I think so.
You know what?
I think so.
You know what? I think I've grown to a point now where I want more than that. I can't see myself doing that and she get up and put her clothes on and be like, all right, cool, I'll see you later.
But just like roll over, like today I don't want to cuddle. Just like.
That's cool. That's cool. If it's like the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I was saying earlier with monogamy. Sometimes she's not in the mood to cuddle, or he's not in the mood to cuddle. Where it's just like, hey, listen, I just wanted sex. Cool. But not the first or the second or the third or the fourth time. Like, eventually, yeah, okay, cool. Some days she may not be in the mood to make love or be intimate and spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Because when you do that, it's more than just sexually. You know what I'm saying? All those other realms tie into it. You know what I'm saying? Sexual is just the basic of it, just the basic act. But it's still a spiritual thing. It's still an emotional thing. It's still a chemical thing. It's still a mental thing that ties into that one on the surface level sexual thing or whatever. And sometimes, hey, listen, she may not be in the mood to do it, to sit down and have, pillow talk and say I love you and forehead kisses and all this extra shit, whatever. But that's where she got to be like, hey, listen, today wasn't one of those moods. You got to be able to say, hey, listen, shut up.
I think that's in learning. That's in learning your partner, though. That's in learning your partner, and also having that comfortability with your partner to be able to trust that, okay, even though she said like she don't want to cuddle with me, it don't mean that she don't love me. It just means she's not in the mood right now.
Exactly.
I think that's a matter of the communication between the two.
And like we were talking earlier, where communication comes in, as long as that's communicated, and two people understand each other. Like they understand, like, hey, some days, hey, listen, I don't want to cuddle. I just want to get in, orgasm, get up, and go do some other. Some days, hey, we're going to cuddle. We're going to sit down and pillow talk, and I'm going to do all the cute and play with your hair and look at your eyes and talk about all this other shit and where we want to be in the next 5 years. Cool. Listen, some days calls for that. Some days call for slow strokes. Some days call for, beating it up from the back, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So that's where communication and understanding comes in between two people. If they don't have that understanding where just one person just wants to, hey, I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying? Then that person needs to, if they don't understand that, hey, listen, that's what they getting themselves into.
I think it's okay to feel like that sometimes. And I think that's why a lot of people, going back to the whole topic on monogamy, I think that's why some people are turned off by the idea of marriage, because they're like, oh, I got to be with the same person, having the same type of sex, doing the same type of things, having the same conversations. But in reality, like what you were saying very, very earlier, you need to be that extra person. Like, you need to be able to be the mistress, the wife, the girlfriend, the chick that you saw in a magazine or on a movie. Like, you need to be all of those.
Or the chick that you seen on X videos.
Yes, you need to be all of those things. And I feel like, honestly, I think that takes a level of maturity to understand, like, okay, you need to fill all of these shoes. And it's fine, but that's also what comes with the monogamy. That's what comes with the commitment. But what I was getting into was that I think that's why some people are against marriage, because they don't want to settle for, they consider it settling for the same type of lifestyle, when in reality, it doesn't have to be that way. And as long as you and your partner are on the same page as far as communication, and also understand that it may not even still be the same way 10 years down the line, because as you guys grow together and you evolve, things are going to change. So the sex may change, the conversations may change, everything's going to change. So it's not necessarily going to stay the same. You just have to be open to accepting that the growth is going to come, and you're with that person, just that person.
Mm-hmm.
And it is what it is. But
I think they're misguided though. They don't really understand it. They don't really understand what it could be because they haven't found their true partner. You know what I'm saying? They haven't found their road dog. Where me, I'm at a point in life where I want my significant other to be my everything. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we could still be together and still be respecting each other's space. Like two individuals become one and still be individuals. It's a weird thing. It's a hard thing to do. You know what I'm saying? When you have two individuals becoming one, but still individuals at the same time. Like that's a hard thing to accomplish.
People let go of themselves in relationships.
Exactly.
They let go of themselves, and I think going back to what you were saying earlier about the whole, when you gave the scenario about 50 and then the other person being 50 or you being 70 and them, like you're basically compromising what part of yourself you want to keep when you have that matchable person.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, they just bleed into their partner. They lose themselves and they bleed into who their partner is, or vice versa. And now it's kind of like, okay, like now I'm up under you. I just want to do what you want to do, instead of, okay, we could still be together. You do your own thing. I'm going to do my own thing. We're still happy together. We still love each other's company. But you do your own thing and I do my own thing.
And a lot of that ties into individual growth. Mm-hmm. So some people grow older and still want to do this shit that they was doing when they was 24. Like, you got to understand, you're 34 now, or you're 30 now. You know what I'm saying? You're not 20 anymore. So all that, hey, I'm staying up till 3 a.m. drinking with you. Hey, listen,
you
nah.
tired.
Yeah, like, yo, I'm tired. Listen, I got a whole husband at home. I'm not trying to sleep on your couch. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hang out till 3 o'clock. I got a whole husband at home waiting for me. You know what I'm saying? We can still hang out and rock out, but I got a whole husband at home. So we could still go, you know what I'm saying, on do whatever we need to do, have girls' night or boys' night out or whatever. First of all, I don't even believe in guys' night out. Here's the thing.
I think y'all are chicks.
No, let me think first. So with guy time, I don't know how girls' time is, because I don't have girl time. With guy time, I'm gonna fill you in with a secret, and most guys is gonna probably throw stones at me for revealing a secret. But guy time really consists of either A, talking about other, I'm gonna be blunt with it, talking about other or chasing other. That's basically what it boils down to. That's the two things why guys want to hang with other guys. What are we talking about? Why do we need to go hang out to talk about what? To talk about what? Think about it. To talk about what? And the only thing that I could say, like, okay, cool. Me and my family is my guys, my dudes, my friends. Delano is a big grown man. Career, marriage, child. My other cousins, Janito, yada, yada, yada. Cool. They have their own going on. When we get together, we actually get together and talk about business, productiveness, who's buying a house, what we moving from there. That's what guy time should actually consist of, but it doesn't. It consists of, hey, listen, and we don't need to go hang out every weekend to go talk about that stuff. We don't. You know what I'm saying? We're not even having productive conversations. We're going to go hang out and talk about LeBron? We're going to talk about we're really going to have a LeBron versus Kobe every weekend? Come on, bro. Every night we having that same conversation? Or who should have won the Super Bowl? Come on, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? We mask it and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go hang out with Sean. I'm going to go hang out with Sheik. I'm going to hang out with Ryan and the rest of them. I'm going to go hang out with Jake and stuff like that. They're not really going to really just talk about guy stuff. The guy stuff is quote unquote talking about other women or either chasing other women. When they go out to the bar and they go on these guy vacations, now we're trying to something. You know what I'm saying? Because what do I need to go for a guy vacation for? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the night, we think about it. You take this bunch of these dudes They go to a beautiful place. First of all, if a guy tells you he going to DR with his,
I was just about to say
yeah,
DR.
you better
DR,
believe it.
no.
You better believe it. I'm gonna throw the dudes under the bus. I'm gonna throw them under the bus because it's real. You know what I'm saying? It's real. They gotta come up with a better strategy than that. Women gotta get hip to the game.
DR is not a guy.
No place is a guy trip. One of my cousins was he's.
Where are guys going on a weekend trip together for? Y'all don't even.
Exactly my point. That's why I'm against
Girls
it. For me personally.
Girls trips.
Nah. I understand. Girls is more kind of like locked off than dudes are. Cause
y'all have testosterone, so all y'all thinking about is a quick nut. Women, we're more like, where did you get your hair done, or what are you doing with your nails? What about your kids? What about X, Y, and Z, or maybe just gossip or whatever? But it's definitely not just. Come on now, we're not talking about guys all day.
Girls would go on a trip to let me go be this ratchet hoe that I should have been. Let me go do some bust it challenge. Let me go wild out. Let me go flirt with a guy to see if I still got it. Now, girls, now, women may not be giving it up as fast as dudes may be giving it up, but you can't say that women ain't out there on girls' trips having that one night stand with that one random dude.
We're not.
Oh my God, that's a lie.
I'll give you this. If anything, we're entertaining them enough to feel like they're going somewhere just for giggles, just for our girls.
I can see that.
We're doing it, but we're not going that extra mile just to have. Because girls, I don't know about guys, but girls, we care about body counts. We're not just going out there to catch another body. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Do you feel like that should be communicated though?
What do you mean?
Like if you're going on a girl's trip and you tell your dude like, hey, listen, I might flirt with a dude or two.
No, hell no. Who does that?
But weren't we just talking about that needs to be communicated?
Okay, so that's not that's oversharing, and I think that in relationships, just a sidebar, I do think that there are things that do not need to be shared. Respectfully.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
I'm not gonna tell my man that I'm going to another country or leaving on a girl's trip to flirt with another guy, because of course it's not in my mind to do. I'm not going there with the intention. But if me and my girls are out, we're dancing, and somebody's trying to buy us drinks, of course we're gonna kiki, giggle, and everything like that, make him feel like he's doing something so we get our drinks. But we're not intentionally going out there like on some.
So you are still playing a game then?
I mean, not necessarily. We're just having a good time. We're not looking to go that extra mile. Like for y'all going to DR, somebody throw it at y'all catching it. That's just what it comes down to.
Well, I'm at a point where I don't want to go on no guy's trip. I always tell people when I'm dating them, I have 3 ideal trips for the year. 1, solo dolo trip with my significant other. 2, a date trip with the family. Children, me, her, the children, we take the kids out, we let them experience life as youths or whatever, and show them what travel in the world could do for you. You know what I'm saying? That's 2. 3, couples trip. During the day, like the girls could all be like, hey, listen, we're all going to the spa, we're going to the pool, and we're going to go to the swimmer bar. Cool, listen, y'all do y'all thing. Because me and the guys, we about to go get the jet skis, we about to go do the wave runner, or we about to go do whatever. We about to go to the basketball court, whatever. We'll catch y'all later for dinner. We'll all link up. Now, you could be apart from him all day long. But at the end of the night, when the lights turn off, when they call the last drink at the bar and everybody go back to their rooms, I want to be able to say, I'm going back to my significant other. I ain't see you all day, but listen, I was out and about. I seen this, I did this, I had this amount of drinks, and I want to come back to you and end the night off with you. And so I'm very big on like, we could be together and still be like in our own worlds. So I could be on the couch, playing the game or watching the game or whatever the case may be, reading a book, and you could be there studying your work and, for an hour or two and probably exchange only like 1 or 2 sentences. You know what I'm saying? Well, we still physically together, but mentally we're, in our own worlds, you know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing for, a couples trip. That's how I seen it, So with that, like I would want even if she do go on a girl's trip without me, I would want her to communicate that and say, hey, listen, I'm about to go flirt with a guy to see if I still got it. Listen.
That takes a certain level of maturity. Not every guy can accept that.
It's true.
You gotta be comfortable with yourself and secure with yourself to be able to have a significant other who may be open to telling you something.
But how could you have a significant other that you're not comfortable with is the question. So that's where it kind of like, yo, how could I date you and
I'm out of your league, maybe.
Yeah, but if I'm dating you, I should be able to be comfortable to tell you, hey, listen, I'm gonna do this.
There's a lot of insecure guys. Same for women. There are a lot of people.
So then would you really seriously date that dude?
What if those insecurities don't show until the moment presents itself? Because of course nobody dates and then it comes out like, oh, I'm insecure. Nobody does that.
Yeah, well, that's true.
The moment has to present itself.
Well, that's true.
It would have to.
You may not know until like 6 months down the line.
Probably, because of course everybody's put on a facade in the beginning. I feel like if I tell you I'm going out, I'm with the girls, as long as you are comfortable with my friends, 9 times out of 10 you should be, and I'm in good care.
That's depending on who it is, though.
Yeah.
They need to be for the relationship.
Yeah.
If your friends are for the relationship, because me personally, I tell Delano all the time, and that's one of my people I look up to, like my big cousin or whatever. I tell him if we go out or anywhere like that, I'm snitching, because I with his wife Liza, which like I with her like my cousin. If he do anything, I'm snitching. And he gonna have to fist fight me outside. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell your wife, nigga, and what? What you gonna do about it? You shouldn't be doing what you was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about that life with my friends. Like, but me personally, I would keep if I do go out with the guys, I would keep her updated. I'd be like, hey, listen, I'm out with the guys. Listen, we still here at the bar. We still, talking about this. We still talk about this investment or whatever the case may be. I would still want my significant other to openly communicate 1,000%. And when I want her to communicate, that doesn't mean tell me the stuff that I want to hear. Tell me the stuff that I don't want to hear. And I need to be able to accept that. Hey, listen, if you're going out flirting with guys and you want to come home and feel like you f***ing your side piece, cool. As long as I know you're doing it with me. I'm telling you, I'll be with it. I'll be with it.
Vice versa, I don't want to hear that. I don't know that I would want to know. I don't know. I mean, communication, yes, but I do, going back to what I was saying, I do think that there are certain things that you do not have to, you could just leave some things a mystery. All right, we're closing out for real this time.
Yeah, for real. Cut, action,
Cut.